Hey, everybody. I'm Tim.
I'm Bob.
I'm Brian.
And I'm Mike.
Yes. And this is the Board Game Rundown. And Bob is a thief of joy. Normally, before we go into this, Mike always says, I'll see you in 20. And there's like a 5-second delay. And then we get to 20 seconds. And I get to laugh. And Bob said, I'll see you in 25. And I was like, oh. Anyways, very happy to be here. Very happy to talk to these gentlemen. I talked to you for a tiny bit at Origins, and then I tried to talk to you guys at Gen Con, but you were way too busy, and your booth was packed, and you guys were just kicking ass and taking names. So while we're at it, why don't you guys tell them what you had going on over at the, I guess it would be what, the Toth Games? Toth? What's the proper way?
Yeah, it's Toth, like
Toth.
both. And yeah, over at Toth Games, we had Legends of the Arena. It's a Super Smash Brothers inspired game. Goal is to knock the other player out of the arena. Brian and I have been working on this since 2017 or something. Definitely a passion project that we're super excited to get out there. And yeah, the response to Gen Con was amazing. So thank you all. If we saw you there, it was awesome. I think I've recovered now, but yeah.
It takes a while, man. It's a crazy convention. And
we had to bring out the big guns. We had to bring out the big guns. We brought Michael's wife, Lizzie.
Is that who was dressed up?
Yes.
That was awesome. Yeah. She looked amazing. That was really cool. And it actually added to your booth presence, right? You already had like a busy booth. And then, you've got this character, walking around, and everything. It was very cool.
Yeah, the first Legends cosplay, so super stoked. Hope there's more in the future. Brian was also there cosplaying. I still haven't decided. I got to figure out my cosplay, but one day, surely.
You've got to speak it into existence. You know what I mean? You got to just you start doing it, and then other people are going to want to start doing it.
That's right. Yeah.
Maybe we'll take a vote. We can just pick for Michael. Like, is he gonna be the mole ninja? Oh. Is he gonna be the werewolf guy? I don't know.
That's right. Yeah. We got to pick a new character that looks just like me, dresses just like me.
Well, then you have to make like this meta character that's like game designer, and he's just like almost Deadpool-esque, where on the surface he seems really crappy, but all of his abilities are just like breaking the fourth wall and like these weird meta ways to cheat.
Yes. Now that you mention it, though, it should really be Brian's character, because that is his ultimate is changing the cards while we play them.
Actually, we're gonna do this now.
Yeah, as soon as he sees what I'm playing, he's like, "Oh yeah, I meant to change that card. Let me fix that real quick."
As the senior game designer on the team, really, I hold the vision in my head, and it's not everyone sees it right away, but I think over time they realize that,
that you're, yeah. Oh, Carlos, I'm the imposter, Mike, tonight.
Yes, we also have second Mike.
Yeah, it could be me. I could be
imposter. No, you're a real Mike. I'm in Mike's square where Mike normally sits.
Tim, if you want to complete the whole motif, you got to give yourself a. There you go. Oh, there's Mike. There he is.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
I also need to get up and not be wearing pants, which will not happen because I'm.
Thank God.
Yeah, you're welcome for that. That happened one time on the show.
Yeah, it was Mike, not Tim.
Not me.
Not that's any better.
No. I mean, in my opinion,
yeah,
maybe it was better just because it wasn't me, and you guys can't give me shit for years and years and years about it, like we will do,
right?
And continue to do. So this was your first Gen Con. Was it your first Origins as well?
No, we went to Origins. I forget, was it 2 or 3 years ago? Mostly. Yeah, just we did a bunch of play tests, we did some pitching, but it was our first year like with a booth.
And you guys, I mean, I think off air you were talking and you were saying that you basically had just sold out all of your base game Legends of the Arena at the show.
Yeah, like they rang the final bell on Sunday and we had one copy left, and another exhibitor walked by and was like, "Oh, how'd it go?" And then we're like, "Well, we just have this one." He's like, "Perfect, I'll clear you out," and that was
hell yeah.
Nice.
We didn't have to turn anyone away. It's just exactly on.
You brought the exact right amount of games, and you didn't even know it.
Yeah, as a
You need to
senior
talk to
logistics
Chad
manager for
Elkins.
the team, I take credit.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. There it is. I love this. I love this dynamic here.
Your last time, I promise.
No, do not promise that. Keep
Yeah,
this
comedy
up.
comes in threes, Brian. You got to think of one more.
That's right.
roll.
You got to get
You
one
gotta
more.
wait and then call it back, so it's funny.
Call it back.
Yeah.
That'll be at the end of
Yeah.
the show. We'll be like, man, that was a
There we
great
go.
pick. And you're like, well, yeah, as senior lead designer of the team, I did.
kind of feel like, yeah.
I did have the best pick.
That's fine.
Um,
Are you guys
So, like-
drinking whiskey? I mean, the attendance is mandatory, but the whiskey is not. But I do
Oh,
see a
that's
big
right.
cube and a glass over there.
Yeah,
Well,
no,
I am.
I started
definitely.
early for sure.
Oh, good.
What you sipping on?
I've got a little Jameson.
Okay.
This is my preferred. It's leftover from my wedding, which was a couple years ago. But the
Oh.
whiskey's still good.
That's right.
We may have
It-
overbought
better.
on the spirits, and so
Okay.
I've just been working through the backlog.
Sure. Yeah.
I
It lasts
like
longer
it.
than better that than like extra fish or something.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Extra fish. It's a week
Still
old
microwaving fish every day
at work
at work. That's
like a
right.
monster.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you guys tell us a little bit about yourselves, like kind of other than obviously making a game that was very successful at Gen Con. What are some of the things you guys you're into? Like, just give everybody a little bit of insight into your into who you are.
Yeah, I don't mind going first. I guess like Brian said, or maybe that was in pregame, so sorry, but yeah, I live in Santa Cruz, California. So try to spend a lot of time on the beach, hanging out. And then
sounds terrible.
It's not bad. I'm worried that like the seagulls are gonna come through on my mic, but they're going crazy right now. But yeah, also it is a crazy. It's also got like a really big board game scene. The University of Santa Cruz game development department is really awesome. Tad, who works there, is really cool. So we have like a really strong local meetup groups, and I try to play as many games as I have time for. I think it's like multiple nights a week, different groups. I've got some college friends who we still like. We started. We used to live together in like San Francisco, and now we just play online, which is a whole experience. And then, I between the beach and board games and work, I try to, I don't know, find some time hanging out with, my wife and our dog. But yeah, that's mostly me. As for games I usually play, I do play quite a few more crunchy Euro-y games, but I enjoy a good party game. I enjoy a lot of like 1v1 brawls and stuff. But I found myself playing more of 3-4 player games that take a little bit longer these days.
Is Santa Cruz the home of the banana slugs?
That's right. Go banana slugs. No known natural predators.
Oh, not yet.
That's
Wait till
their,
Bob
that's
gets
their
out
motto. Nothing eats them. Nothing wants to. And when you look at them, you understand.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That's like Bob's Tinder profile. Sorry.
Well, you have to ask him about my OnlyFans.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. How about you, Brian?
Yeah. So I've been Michael's brother for a long time, and
weird.
been playing games together for forever. Yeah. So I'm in the Bay Area as well, but on the other side of the mountains, and I've got two little kids, 5 and 3, and so a lot of the games we get to the table right now are like Mountain Goats is a new one for us, and
great.
Like, 7's been good. So working our way up, kind of learning some mechanics and stuff as we go. I actually have the next couple of years like purchased out already, to like kind of ease them in as we hit the little milestones, So that's pretty fun. And then in non-kid gaming, getting back into D&D a little bit, really enjoying like a bit more of the role play side. But we still have our Frosthaven group going. I can't believe you mentioned that, Mike. We like still every Thursday. Or I shouldn't say every Thursday. Maybe one Thursday a month is what we're able to do now. But
Hey,
we haven't given
you
up.
gotta have goals.
We don't even finish the scenario every time anymore. We show up, we talk some, we play a round or two, we talk some more. Oh, it's midnight, time to call it. So, man, we need to work on that. And then, kind of previously played like Magic competitively a little bit. We did hop over to Vegas for Team Sealed a couple months ago, right after Origins. which was really interesting. We did okay. We were like 5-2 before we got knocked out, I
Scrubbed
think.
out. Yeah.
But it was kind of fun to try and play competitively again because it's been a long time. Yeah, and then I think what else hobby wise, a little bit of running, like to get outside. We have nice weather here, but it's mostly the kids or the game, especially the one big game, and like it's been super. I think we hand delivered at Origins like the first copy to a backer. Maybe I think the dude in Switzerland. It was either the guy we gave it to at Origins like 8 a.m. on Thursday, or was the dude in Switzerland? I'm not sure. Someone got it first, but it was pretty exciting.
Nice.
What a crazy feeling. Yeah.
Well, yeah. How wild is that? Like to have somebody show up to your booth, already knows about your game, and is like super hyped to meet you guys and to get the game. It's got to be kind of surreal, right?
It is. And for that particular person, that's actually their second copy, because when we first went to Origins like 2 or 3 years ago, we brought our terrible little prototype. There was a group of people who just loved the game, and they played it at the Unpub event, and then they wanted to play more, so we went on to like the open gaming, and they were playing it and they loved it so much, we're like, just keep it, we can always make another demo.
Yeah.
And then they backed the game, and they came and found us like first day at Origins to pick up their official copy, but they still have the old version, which I can't look at and not see like all the flaws, but
Right.
He said they had a ton of fun playing it. So hopefully they like the new one more, but either way, I'm happy.
Yeah, otherce it's like, well, what are we doing here?
Yeah, like, oh, they ruined this game. Let's go back to the other one.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, show me the real Legends. Yeah.
I hope at least they cut the art out and paste it on. That would be the one thing. That's
Right.
It's all placeholders, and yeah.
That's awesome though. That's really cool. That's really cool. That is hard for a lot of game designers to accomplish. There's a lot of people that it's a real struggle, and it's a real grind. And not to say that your experience wasn't, but just that payoff, to where you get to, because I've seen a lot of people at conventions and it's their first published game and their booth is empty and nobody really knows about it. And they're doing the thing where, you're just making eye contact with everybody, hoping you can get like one person to come over and talk to you, and
I mean, that's us as well, for sure. But it does feel really amazing. And I would say for anyone out there who's like, whatever, interested in making a game, or they're just tweaking a game they have, like it's a great feeling. I'll be chasing it. And I love having like one person who wants to play it a bunch over, maybe selling a lot of it, or maybe I'm just, maybe I really want both. But yeah, I think every person who buys the game and then like writes a message about how they played it, even if they didn't like it, it makes me so happy. I just love that people actually play it. As a fellow, I buy a bunch of board games and they sit in shrink wrap on my shelf. And I feel guilty about it.
I have never done that.
Yeah, right.
Yes, me neither.
Yeah.
Not to mention all these games in shrink over here that even some of them from
the
Gen
Shelf of
Con.
Shame is definitely off screen.
But yeah, as a designer, I feel like that's the biggest like compliment, is like someone plays it and it makes enough of an impact that they want to like, tell you or tell someone,
Yeah, if they like it enough to tell somebody else, that's a real thing. That is definitely a real thing. Man, I had another thing and then I totally forgot it. Did you guys buy anything at Gen Con for yourselves while you were there?
Oh yeah. Oh, had to. I mean, we cleared up so much space,
Oh, that's right. That's right. You did.
And so I got Compile 3. I'm a huge Compile head. And I've been begging Brian to play me for like years now. And we finally sat down and played, and I was whooping him. It felt so good. It was everything I'd always dreamed. And then I don't know, he drew this one OP card and destroyed me. So they got to work on the balance a little bit, but no, it's great.
So
I have a question about that, actually, now that you bring that up. So I'm like, Compile is like an old game, right?
I don't know how old. I guess I got into it in PAX last year. Maybe
so not that old. Okay. For some reason, I thought Compile was like an older game that was then getting a reprint. And then I saw like they had different boxes of compile, and I was just like,
Notice that.
I have no idea what this is or what it's about. There was a dude, like I was like hanging out in a line. I was just, you're kind of stuck in line, and sometimes you just start chatting up people around you, like, oh, hey, what are you looking for? And this dude was like, compile, like running to blah, blah, blah to get compile. I'm like, hey, awesome, because he was hyped. I was happy for him, but I have no idea. Like, I didn't know anything about it. I was like
they
a
had
little
signs,
too
limited 1 copy per person. And it's like,
it was a little too early in the morning for me to want to like pursue like a whole line of questioning about it. But even though I was like kind of curious, but I was also like, man, I don't know. I'm not ready for that level of engagement yet. But yeah, so what's the story? What's the different boxes?
Yeah, it's I would say it's like a lane battler, but it also has kind of a smash up vibe where you're taking kind of different components, mixing them together to make your deck. And then from a hand of cards, you're fighting over 3 lanes to basically build up, I think it's 10 points on your side. And then you compile and then you flip and you win that lane. And your opponent's doing the same with 3 lanes that are connected to yours. So you're kind of like head to head. And there's a lot of like cool interactions and combinations on the cards. And as you like choose different, I don't know what, like adjectives almost, right? Or, because they're like the different compile like protocol.
What are your traits like triggering keywords and things like that? Or
yeah.
Right? The teaming is like really light, it's not like they're fantasy armies or something. It's just oh, this is like gluttony, like the abstract concept of gluttony, and like the cards will sort of be themed around that.
Okay.
Yeah. Or fear, or like hope, or speed. And so like all the speed cards, they're super fast and they can move around, but it's really hard to compile the speed protocol itself. And so there's like trade-offs there. And then, different cards interact with each other. And it's, I think it's a super fun little lane battler.
Like when we were playing it, it was like in the airport, and the table right next to us was also playing it. So
right on.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like it was a hot game at the show,
they
kind
sold
of in
out.
retrospect, but I had no idea like what was going on with it or anything. And so I was just kind of like, okay, well, I'll hear about it somewhere.
Yeah, if you get the chance. It's certainly not the thing where you need like all 3 or the auxiliaries or whatever. But like if you're like me and once you get into it, you're like, oh, I want the whole set so I can find all the cool combinations.
That's me and Bob. I mean, Bob and I are old school Magic players.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
like relapsed, recovering, relapsed again. Currently
on
relapsed.
The wagon, off the wagon,
there's
a wagon.
Currently like so far off the wagon that the wagon doesn't even exist anymore.
Good. To play Magic on the wagon.
That's right. It's impossible.
It is.
But all right. Brian, what'd you get?
So I got Container and High Society. So like small play stuff.
Right
I just get suckered into the all play booth, and I don't know. I just get like, I think at Origins I got like I got Mountain Goats there, and I got the Golden Goal, and maybe 1 or 2 others. I don't know. They're just the small form factors. I can travel with them. I can sneak them in on the shelf. Like does not notice necessarily.
That's right.
The price point's always good, and especially with High Society, a lot of the games I do get to play now are like post bedtime games with like other adult friends, varying levels of game playness. So things like High Society, no thanks. Flip 7, obviously, like
easy to table, easy to teach, like low rules overhead.
Yeah. So I like having a stable of those, so I don't have to like keep revisiting the same ones. But it's Things and Rings, So just some of those kind of like, and then also picked up or was that Alpha Clash is like a TCG, yes. And they came out with a co-op kind of play, so like a co-op game that comes with 2 full decks, so you can it's effectively an entire experience in a box. And one of our friends, Jason, does the design for them on that, and like was really excited to pick that up because that was launching at Gen Con. And I love co-op, either LCG or TCG. I think like I want to say Fantasy Flight has done a couple that have been really good, and like just having the ability to like a little bit of that like fun of getting new packs without having to go all the way and like, I need the best cards to compete. Instead, it's just like, here's a new pack. My little deck gets a little better, but I'm just against the CPU, so I don't need to like have the meta deck.
No, I love that. My problem now with those kind of games is I love deck construction. I think that's super fun. But the only deck construction games that I get to play consistently are Magic. So, what I mean? It's hard to get people like I ended up getting rid of my Marvel Champions stuff, which I think was a great game, but it just wasn't hitting the table. But I like you got like on paper though, it's perfect because I could just build the deck for the hero I want, and want to play, and you could just buy the heroes you want, and you buy those expansion packs and everything you want. It's a great idea. Same thing with like Arkham Horror, the LCG, right? But I never played. I didn't play Netrunner, any of those, but those were really popular. Had a, pretty good life.
Yeah, and it's like a whole new crop now with between like Flesh and Blood and then One Piece, Gundam, the Cyberpunk one now. Who Chris actually worked on a bit, like Chris of Pocket Paragons. I know y'all met them before. Like he did some work
Chris
on
Solis. Yeah.
And so it's just like an incredible diversity of new TCGs. I certainly don't play them all, but for the people who are like into those fandoms or just want to like Lorcana, right? Like you get to really pick and choose these days. You
really do. You really do. If you guys like
Pick
TCGs and you want one with like a crazy twist, I definitely recommend Flawed because it uses the card overlays. So you're going to build a deck between like your standard cards, but then it's got these clear sleeves and they have icons on them that give you overlays that will give you different tags and triggers and keywords. And so it's like really customizable, and it is just a head-to-head, battler. That's I haven't played anything like it. I've played a lot of crap, and I've not played anything like it. And they're hopping, man. Like you always wonder when somebody puts out a card game, especially one that's got it's more of that collectible aspect. It's got chase cards and stuff like that. It's like, well, how successful, can they be when there's those big dogs, But I mean, Flesh and Blood is stuck around, but I'm old enough to remember Vampire Jihad come and go, you know what I mean?
Spellfire.
And Spellfire. There was another advanced D&D one. I forget what it was called. There was a D&D one that was around back in the late 90s also. The Star Wars originally was a TCG, and then they made it an LCG, and then they did Star Wars Unlimited, which is still super fun. I just don't have enough of a group around here to like
not enough bandwidth,
to play it. And my problem is when I play games like that, I like to play with people I know because shut up, Bryce, you're older than me. But I like playing those games with people I know just because there's a comfort level of, like Magic players. If you find a good group of guys, girls, good group of people to play Magic with, you're good. But let's be real, just like any hobby, there's some real weirdos and some people that are just miserable to be around. And I have no interest in sitting across the table from that person. Like I have limited time to play games. I want to maximize my experience. Even if I'm going to get my butt whooped because I'm trying out some funky deck that I just want to see if it'll work. Like I want to still do it with a group of guys, group of girls, people that I'm just having a good time with, and we can still laugh. We're all going to be on that end of the whooping stick every once in a while, so.
Yeah, we had a great like draft group for a while that like every week we get together and draft, and that was pretty fun because like similar thing. It's like you know who the best players were, like they're always gonna be at the top, but it was still fun to just kind of be friends both before and after the game, and see how things evolve week to week, and like in jokes upon in jokes, right? Like,
well, and you'll even have your own group meta, which is, I think, to me, more interesting, right, than whatever like the mass, okay, everybody plays this. It's like, well, I don't care because I don't go to the game store to play strangers. If I go to the game store to play, it's just because that's where there's a table, and we're all gonna be. But like you said, and that leads perfectly into this topic is, these experiences and these bonds you form sitting at the table, across from people. So that's why you want to have good ones. But Hoop, before we do
get
that
into
topic, yeah.
So, if you guys decide you want to make another game and you need table coverings or big banners, anything like that, or anybody out there watching, listening, we know a guy who makes great products. He does web design, all types of stuff. I'm just going to go ahead and roll that beautiful bean footage.
Get your games noticed with help from Lawhorn Design. Eye-catching backdrops, banners, table covers, signage, and much, much more. All shipped directly to you or your next big show. Fast, reliable rush orders are always available to keep you prepared and professional. Contact Lawhorn Design today for all your creative marketing, branding, website, and event display needs.
Bryce is really making me show my age. I was
The 1900s.
running a Star Wars. It was the D6 Star Wars RPG back in the day. They were good times, and Bryce is 100% a murder hobo when it comes to those games. All right, Carlos is coming out hot. Let's deal with this question, and then we can get into our top 5. So what's one game you will absolutely never play with your family again, and why?
Wow. I mean, when we were kids, we would go to like a lake house every summer. And I distinctly remember my mom, and she still tells the story about how she would bring one game for every night, because after each game was played once, everyone would be so mad that they wouldn't want to play it again. So in some ways, every game, but if I had to pick a specific game, I think it'd be Risk. I've been betrayed too many times. I've been hurt too many times. I've had too many people just hole up in Australia, New Zealand, and just, make you and wait for the dust to settle. It's
just building up a million armies down there, and then just like, okay, this is my turn. I'm just gonna.
Or they're holding a place with like 2 dudes. I attack in with like 20, and they just roll 6, 6, 6, 6, and I'm like, eventually, surely, no, they decimate my whole army, and I'm like, I can't handle the RNG. Let's leave that one on the shelf.
That's tough.
Forever,
That is tough. How about you, Brian?
Yeah, I think to stick with the TCG theme, it's got to be the Pokemon trading card game.
Okay.
I think like when that came out, like I was it was the first trading card game I played, and I was young enough that like my parents were still like kind of playing games like with us, right? And that was just a big, like they had never really experienced anything like that before, like the concept of buying more cards, building the deck, and then like the game itself at the time had so much randomness in it. And I distinctly remember sitting down across from my dad, who's like trying to humor me play this game. I'm probably like 9 or 10 or something, and I've got a little Abra out there, and it's got 1 attack. It's like 10 damage, and you flip a coin, and if heads, the opponent's paralyzed, which means they can't do anything. And like 10 damage, that game is nothing. Like that's the lowest number you can have. So I just sit there. I think I flipped like 5 heads in a row, and so I'm just like 10. He's just sitting there like, what do you mean I can't do anything? I'm like, no, sorry, yeah, all you can do is just wait until I flip a tails. And he's like, this is not a real game, right? Like this is just a marketing gimmick. Like this is just like a way to sell cards. And yeah, that was the last time I think. I mean, obviously Michael and I played plenty because we loved on and didn't really mind all that. But yeah, that was definitely one that never again I think do we play it like with any adults. So not as a family.
Yeah, you burned them out. They're like, nope, we're done. This is
too much. The characters are weird. I don't understand why are they evolving? What is this about? What do you mean I have to buy more? And then on top of that, I'm just losing to Abra.
Right. Like this crappy card. Can you please evolve it so that it will stop doing this and have different ability?
Bob, do you have one? You got any?
Go ahead. I'm trying to think of the name of it. Trying to look it up right now. So if you've got one,
You really never played it again. That's impressive.
Yeah, but so mine would be. It is. One time we host Thanksgiving at my house, and my in-laws, like my sister-in-law, my brother-in-law, they'll play board games with us, and the max they about go is medium weight, right? Which is fine. It's great. I'm glad to have people to play board games with. They wanted my mother-in-law to play with us, and they wanted to play werewolf because they're like, oh, werewolf will be easy, and we're just doing regular Miller's Hollow werewolf, so it's not one night, it's just very basic werewolf, play with a deck of playing cards, and this was the most hilarious thing that's ever happened in a game of werewolf for us. Like, literally, my mother-in-law were like, okay, everybody close your eyes, point to somebody you think is a werewolf, because it's like the seer, open your eyes. And my mother-in-law literally just says the person's name out loud, like, instead of pointing. And then we're all like, okay, shit, well, this doesn't work. But we all started laughing, and then it never got back on the rails. And we're just like, clearly this will never work. So
But you had fun doing it,
We had a fantastic time, and we laugh about it, if not multiple times a year, definitely on Thanksgiving. So I'm not really mad at it. It's just, we're not going to try that again. We're going to stick to like Trick Takers, because she can grok those.
Love
And like, why would you? You're not going to top that experience anyways. That's like a great reason to retire. Go out.
We peaked. That's a great point.
I don't remember the name of it. I'm trying to figure out what it is. But there is some trivia game where it's supposed to be the kids versus the adults. And my nieces, they're freaking smart cookies, man. And the adults' questions are ridiculously hard. We couldn't figure out any of them. And like all the kids' ones were like, oh, who is this character in this cartoon? Who is like, come on. Like, and they smoked the adults, man. It was not even fair. I was like, screw this game.
You needed me on your team, Bob. I'd help.
No, like, their questions were the who's in what movie. Our questions were like, how tall is the Empire State Building? Like, how many feet or how many stories? Like, just like, who knows these things? Winston Charles.
And I do know a lot of stupid things. I don't know if I know those things, but.
So personally, I'm looking forward to like kind of my revenge in those trivia games, because I feel like growing up, it was always like, oh, which character has a watch that lets him talk to other people and see their faces, right? And it's like all these references to MASH or, things that were well before my time. And I'm ready for like, what was Britney Spears' second biggest album, or things where it's like, finally it's my time, and my
yes.
like, I don't who's Nirvana, what's that? And I'll be like, gotta learn
what
something.
Is it not another teen movie where he's like starts to clap and he's like, now is the time, and he finally gets the slow clap at the right time? That's you're just waiting for your moment.
Mm-hmm. All
right. So was there any criteria other than, like the obvious for your lists? Like, was there anything specific you honed in on other than board games that have, given you, I don't know, memorable experiences or helped you form bonds?
I don't think the prompt that I read said board games. It said
games. No, fair.
Okay.
Define your relationships.
Yes.
So I guess that could also be positive and negative.
Yes.
I did my best to pick ones that I thought Michael might not pick. And I mean, it's gonna be tough. I'm sure there's gonna be an overlap, but my goal is no overlap. We did not discuss, however, ahead of time.
I would love it if you both tried to go like, I'm not going to pick what he's going to pick, and then you guys still pick the same things because you're trying to pick what you think the other guy won't pick.
Clearly not choose the game in front of him.
That's right.
No, I went deep into the stack. There's no way Brian's got me red. There's not possible.
All right.
Yeah.
Bob, are you going first and I'm going last? Is that how we're doing it?
Yeah, since you're
Okay.
playing the part of Mike over there.
That's right. There you go.
Yeah, so like mine defined relationships, basically helped to build and strengthen the relationships I had. And so yeah, let me get back to I gotta do all the computer thingies over here, so bear with me. I guess that means we start with my number 5.
Oh yeah. I held up a 1 like an idiot.
You do that a lot. I mean, maybe not a lot, but more than never.
I drink and I know things. That's my job.
Right. Just not what order numbers and lists.
Not numbers. We know numbers.
So my number 5, growing up, my mom's side of the family, a lot of them didn't speak much English. So she's Portuguese. She's from the Azores. My grandpa, he knew the swear words in English, and that was about it.
Nice.
But dominoes was a game that we could all play together. We all knew the multiples of 5. We would sit around and play dominoes all the time. Anytime they would come and visit, my grandpa and I, we would go out. We'd sit out on the back deck. We'd play a bunch of dominoes for hours, and it was just something nice that kind of just broke down the language barrier. We didn't have to worry about. I mean, I could tell when he's swearing at me because I'm winning. But other than that, though, like it was just great. I mean, and I've kind of carried that love on. I play a lot of dominoes with my basically guy I consider my brother, Elazar. We've played a lot of dominoes together too. But just really that relationship with my grandfather that I had around that game was fantastic. So
yeah, it's a beautiful thing. I think I love it when a board game can be like, cross language barriers. I think it's a hard thing. And I do feel like a lot of board games, especially more modern designs, like, yes, there is more text, but they're also do a better job having like symbols in addition to the text.
Yes.
So they are
is huge.
a little bit easier to do cross language, but it is a beautiful thing.
I think as publishers, right, if you just want to be like strictly business about it, though, I think publishers have realized that if you don't have that language barrier and if you can just have the iconography that people can follow, I mean, it simplifies your rule books. Honestly, it adds the game flow anyways, regardless of native language.
Yeah, sometimes they go overboard. I feel like Terraforming Mars has like a ton of symbols. Some of the like midweight Euros where you're just looking at this, this is hieroglyphic.
Or like if you try to play a Mind Clash game, you have to have like a whole. I say I got a PhD in iconography because you can start to read and decipher those hieroglyphics. It's in a whole other language. So, all right. So Brian, what you got for your number 5?
All right, Michael, you ready?
Yeah.
I found it. Honor of the Samurai.
Honor of the Samurai.
1996.
Is it even on BGG?
It is.
Right on. I thought I'd looked at all the Samurai games on BGG. Honor of the Samurai. We got to get a copy.
Yeah, when you see, and it was actually reprinted in 2003, I think, or something. But yeah, it took me about an hour to find it. Yeah, this game. So really, this is like a whole. So my parents, I mentioned, like they really tried to humor us. They kind of realized we're both gamers and it wasn't necessarily their cup of tea, but they were always buying new games. They were finding new stuff for us to play and really appreciate that. And Honor of the Samurai is one of the game right ones. So we had a bunch of game rights. This could have been like Frog Juice or something, but this one I just particularly stood out because it is actually really long. It's like a 3-hour experience if you play like the 500-point variant. And it's a tableau builder. It's themed on feudal Japan. It's got battling. You can become the daimyo. There's cultural artifacts you can collect. So it's got a little bit of that like kind of civilization, multiple victory paths feel to it. Combat. I mean, a lot of the cards individually are super simple. They're just like, here's an ember. But yeah, with the number of ways you could kind of take it, it was like very flawed, of course, like from a balance perspective or whatever. Like if you ever became the daimyo, you were toast. Everyone just took you out. But just really, really neat and kind of epic in a way, like for a game right game, especially like really epic. And I still associate the linen finish, with like this game, right? Because like that's just my really every game right game, but this one in particular. So yeah, I wasn't sure which game right to pick, but I felt like I had to throw one in there because like our parents were just always popping out new ones, and like we had a lot of fun going through all those and playing them together.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We got to play it. We got to bring it back. It's just what an epic game. Like I think, I assume it is pure childhood nostalgia just coming right through, but just the alliances, the betrayals, like becoming Daimyo and like, wielding that power, like being, I don't know, like 10 years old and realizing you can just totally screw over your parents and just, being a bad Daimyo. Honestly, I deserve to be deposed, but it was an awesome feeling. It was very cool.
Well, what you need to do is you put on your game designer hat, and then when the nostalgia part wears off, you're like, oh, you know what would be really good if we did this. Oh, and then, well, what'll happen is Brian will do it mid-turn so that it will benefit him, and then it'll make sense.
True. That's the real meta game there,
That's right.
Yeah, I don't know why it keeps dropping out my share screen. I keep bringing it up, and then I look back over, and it's like, well, where'd it go? It keeps dropping my.
Wait, somebody made a BGA. That looks like a BGA implementation.
Oh.
Maybe, yeah. Or something online. I don't know.
Oh
Yeah, that's that
pretty.
chat log right here.
Yeah.
Yep, somebody's got it.
Wow.
It's playable.
But yeah, those dice were fun too. They had the little symbols on them. Yeah.
Really cool dice. Dang.
All right.
Yeah, all the assassinations, just like you could take somebody. Yeah, that was great. A lot of
so many weird mechanics that like truly felt like just there for flavor. Like after you got eliminated, you could be like, you could go to someone else's house and be their like second in command. But then if they got eliminated, you got to take over their thing. So sometimes you would just go to the person who killed you and be like, I'll be your like loyal samurai, but you're plotting against them. You're trying to find an assassination card to assassinate them. So much fun. Really. I don't think it's a good game. Don't go.
Yeah, no, everybody. It's a top 10 out of 10. Everybody go and spend $300 on it.
But you can have fun.
Talk to them when you're mad.
Dang, that BGG rating, it's probably correct at a 5.9. It is not the weight though. I don't think is right at all. Like we spent hours playing that game. It is. Yeah.
Maybe you were just bad at it. I don't know.
I was bad at every game I played.
We were children.
Yeah, same.
Should I go next?
Yeah, go for it.
Perfect. So the first game I have, game number 5 is Kelp, which is a 2-player asymmetric dueling game. One person's an octopus, one person's a shark. It's a pretty recent game. I think it came out a couple years ago. They're doing a sequel or expansion or something pretty soon. Game's awesome. Super beautiful. I mostly play it. I think actually I exclusively play it with my wife, and she does not like to play a lot of board games. So finding one she likes is part of my mission in life. And she only plays as the shark, and I only play as the octopus. The roles are strictly like that, and the shark kind of like swims around, and the octopus is just like hiding and deck building, and the shark has like a dice bag. So I think it really is fun to have the kind of like parallel paths. It's not like we're both deck building or something like that. And then I think like my wife definitely likes maybe the chance element of the shark, whereas I'm more into the grindy deck building of the octopus. And you have multiple win conditions of the octopus, so you can kind of bounce around between them, and the shark just kind of runs at you and tries to gobble you up. Super fun. And beautiful, obviously. But
yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, the pictures here are looking way better than Honor the Samurai.
Yeah.
It's not a competition. It's totally a competition. No, that's cool. I definitely am sympathetic to I can get my significant other to play this one. Like if I can get my wife to play a game with me, then
that helps.
Hallelujah. I can usually get the kids to play, stuff. But the wife is definitely a tougher cookie to crack. So but yeah, it helps when it's like a nicer looking game, and then maybe it's not like overly, complex. Like if I have to spend 20 minutes explaining the rules, like she's done. Like that was my whole game window, like to get the game played.
Real quick, Flamecraft Duels is a great 2-player.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You're talking about the All Play booth earlier. I was going to mention something that they've started selling that cardboard alchemy stuff. And that's a good one.
Yeah, I think the other thing that really stands out for me for Kelp is like so often, like, it's just my wife and I were playing a game, but so many games, like even asymmetric games, are not as deeply asymmetric as Kelp. And it really sometimes feels like, if two people, like if I want to play a deck builder, my wife not super into deck builders, boom, Kelp. I'm still playing the deck builder, I'm still having fun grinding it out. And I think that's something that like a lot of the like 2-player games, I mean, they just can't do, right? But
that's awesome. I need to look into Kelp. That is for sure.
Yeah, I'm digging the. I don't know about the wash on there. What are those little minis? They're cool.
All right, so my number 5, I went with the second oldest game on my list, technically. But this game it's got its critics, but it's super important. It's super important to me in my hobby, not only, in my growth and development in the hobby. And it comes and it goes. But man, when it comes on strong. And I got to talk about Magic the Gathering. Played it in the 90s. I made some of my couple of my oldest friends playing Magic the Gathering, like in high school. And it was just like they saw I had Magic cards and they're like, oh, you play Magic? And that is one of the ways, Bob, that Greg and I became friends.
Oh, nice.
And then we played the Star Wars TCG and, TCG back in the day together, Vampire, all that stuff. But Magic really got it going. Say what?
Oh, for those who haven't seen Magic.
Yeah, right. Here's the
That's
I didn't know it had a
okay.
BGG page.
You had to bring
That's
that
crazy.
up. Yep.
And
It
then
counts 'cause it's in BGG.
and it's really wild because I got out of Magic for a long time and then got back into it, was playing with a coworker at an old job, and then like played with Bob a little bit back then, and then went out of it, just dove headfirst into board games, was like, I'm done playing Magic. Like I won't spend as much money if I'm into board games. That was a lie. And then between Bob kind of getting back in hot and heavy, and then I started a new job, and a couple of the guys at my new job play Magic, and it was a really good way to bond, and kind of build up some relationships with the team, and and then it didn't hurt that they put out sets like Marvel and Ninja Turtles, and I'm kind of mad I didn't get in when it was Final Fantasy, because I definitely am an old Final
don't be mad. I
Fantasy
spent
nerd.
way too much.
I heard it was a really good set too.
It was a
people
fantastic
really loved it.
set.
Yeah, I mean, I've got some stuff for it, but
I got some of my return on investment, but still,
like the play boosters get more expensive over time, which is like
Crazy.
Yeah. To be honest, I left Magic off my list, but only because I just like didn't even know how to like rank it along with everything else. Because it's like I've been playing Magic forever. Similar thing is like new job, find the Magic group, like just instant camaraderie. And it's like almost a number 0, But I figured someone else would pick it, and I could just piggyback because it's been.
Yeah, no, I mean it's legit, but it's I don't like put Magic on my list a lot. Like normally it would be on a Bob kind of list, but I'm really lucky because when I got back into it, I don't know how or why, but I managed to find groups of guys that I like to play with, and because early on back in the 90s, when I started to stray out of my sphere that I was used to, I just had some bad experiences with guys that were just total, jerks personally, and was like, I don't need this. Like there's other stuff I'd rather be doing. And so to get back in and have like this really awesome group where we can play and we talk and we share ideas and we, it's like those stories, you get the stories, your cardboard war stories, right? You're telling all these stories and everything. These just crazy epic things that happen. And so, yeah, I mean, it's got its haters and that's fine. But man, it can be a lot of fun if you find like any game, you find the right people to hang out with, you're going to have a good time.
Yep.
I was talking with my friends from high school the other day, and like obviously we played Magic back in high school, and like it just comes up. He's working on a cube. He's trying to make a cube with as many infinite combos as possible.
Oh wow.
It's like, what an interesting puzzle. And it's like, we're not even playing Magic at this point. We haven't played Magic together in 20 years, but like, just immediately we both know what we're talking about. And it's like, oh, what a cool idea. Like, oh, but do you try to make sure that all the colors are in there? Cause like some colors have more combos than others. And it's like, it's just like, what a fun kind of like space to play in. It's just like so many ways to think about Magic. You can think about the art, the cards, different formats, times you played before. Like there's a lot of different angles to it.
There's so many different things you can do with it.
Yeah,
And
I love the different types of formats. Like, because Commander is super huge right now. And one time we had 6 of us playing, and I introduced them to the Emperor format. And so that was a lot of fun using our Commander decks to play that. So
I'm a big Commander fan. I don't know if I have no interest right now. It's easy for me to say right now, but I have no interest in going back to the 60 card format. I don't have enough old stuff to worry about a banned list. Like I just want to play. Like I just want to throw cards into a deck and
I
play.
did see an interesting story that a new dwarf deck, because now that dwarves are big from the new Hobbit set, and there's a deck you can build for. I mean, the guy who built it, his deck's like $100, but there's 4 lands in there that are like $10 a piece. Other than that, the deck is like $50, and it wrecked everybody at. No, it wasn't even Pauper. It was at a pro tour, like not tour, but like a qualifier or whatever. And this dwarf deck beat everything up. It was awesome.
It's gonna take over the meta immediately.
Yeah.
All your money into cards are gonna skyrocket.
Yeah. That's why, because I was talking to a guy at work, John, and he's got his old. He played back in the day. He hasn't played them forever, but he said he had a dwarf deck that he pulled out for fun. I told him, John, dwarves are cool again.
That's right.
All right. Anyways, that will take us down to number 4. So for my number 4, similar lines to my number 5, not necessarily with a language barrier, but more just like family related. Every Christmas, every Thanksgiving, I go back to visit my brother-in-law, and I take on my parents in Pinochle all the time. We've played Pinochle growing up with like my grandparents and everything, upstate New York. We used to play all the time growing up. Kind of quit playing, but my brother-in-law picked it up. He really enjoys it. My sister's never going to play. She hates card games. So whenever I am there visiting, he's like, come on, we got to either defend our title or win it back. And so we're always like, we play the double deck Pinochle, and yeah, it's a great time. And I did kind of substitute in there also Karuba, because when we're not playing Pinochle, my parents love Karuba. So I'll just throw a board game in there too. But no, Pinochle is just like I enjoy it, but there's a lot of things that happen like it forces your hand so much. Like, oh, my partner has that, I still have to trump if I have to, I have to keep trying to take it. And like a lot of those rules make it tricky. And you always have the meld that then you have to bid how many you could take, and then between your meld and the cards you take, you have to try to hit your bid. And those mechanisms, like just learning those key things when I was young, has really made learning other games a lot easier for me. So
I don't think I've ever played Pinochle.
Yeah.
Me neither.
It's an upstate New York thing. And out in the Midwest here, we play euchre.
Yes.
Let's go.
Euchre.
Yeah.
You can euchre.
I prefer spades,
east.
but
Huh?
I prefer spades. Yeah,
well,
spades
maybe
is my
some
game.
jail time.
Bro. Hey.
We're like big Midwest family. Like after dinner, break up in groups of 4, like play euchre.
Yeah.
We got whatever 30 first cousins or something. A lot of euchre.
A lot of euchre, yeah. And it's a great game. I'll stand on business for euchre.
There you go.
Pinochle might be good too. I don't know, but yeah.
Yeah, I feel like our dad talks about playing it, but he never taught it to us. But yeah, I like burning the cards.
It's a ton of cards.
You have a ton of cards? Is it kind of like spades? Because spades.
So normal Pinochle deck has like 2 of every card.
Yep.
9 through ace, and so we play double deck. You pull out the 9s, and then so you got 4 10s of each suit, 4 jacks of each suit, and the ranking is like ace, 10, king, queen, jack.
Yep.
Then and then you're trying to get points. The queens and jacks aren't worth any points, And then as you're bidding, you have to have like a marriage and a suit in order to call trump. And then you get like 2 points for your marriage in your hand, 4 points if it's trump. If you have a queen of spades and a jack of diamonds, that's called a pinnacle, and it's worth a bunch of points, especially if you have 2 of them. You get like 30 points for it. But it's hard to win tricks if you have those because they're shit cards. So that's why you have to be able to win at least 20 points worth of tricks, which are like aces, tens, and kings, and take those cards in order to save your meld.
I see. So it's much closer to bridge than if I had to put it on the spectrum.
Oh, okay.
I think because like the bidding, I mean the deck construction, obviously that's a wrinkle into itself, but the auction for trump versus like in the euchre, you basically just you have one choice. Yeah, pick it up or put it down. And I do like auctioning. I just when it gets too heavy, like I'm not really big into auction kind of games, like the train games, the 18xx. I think those like, I don't know, auctioning, it's really, it can be divisive. I think some people's feelings can really get hurt during like bidding and stuff like that. People get attached, and not so much with Pinnacle. I find it more just in the train games, but I do like that as like a game mechanic. I think auctioning is very cool. Mm-hmm. Or bidding, whatever.
Yeah. It's a bid, because you're like, oh man, okay, well, I'll bid 50. Well, I'll bid 52. Well, I'll bid 55.
Yeah, not to go like crazy off tangent, but I feel like in Dune Imperium, where you're doing like the combat, I think that's like one of my favorite kind of. It's basically bidding, right? Where everyone's kind of in rounds putting their troops into the combat, and there's some bluffing and there's some like hidden information, but for the most part, it is just like how many troops are worth getting this objective. And it's like one subsystem in there, but I think like it's done really well, and I really enjoyed that implementation of it.
Oh, it's Chris.
Oh wow, nice.
Oh, yeah.
Well, maybe we'll have to teach Tim and get some other person to play.
That's right.
There's something super cool about games that kind of go cross-generational and stuff, and like people already know how to play. And as much as I love like modern games and stuff, it is often you're teaching everybody else at the table, and so it's kind of cool that we're something people are already familiar with.
I just think it's important, just builds those relationships, those stories.
Yeah, I love the shared mechanics, right? It's like, oh, if you've played a trick-taking game, you can play another one,
That's right.
And like trick-taking games, all the rage right now, and it's it's so easy for me to learn them. I'm like, oh, a trick-taking game, except we have some challenges that restrict what you can play. Not a problem,
Right.
Mm-hmm. Just make it a good one.
So for my number 4, I picked Puzzle Strike 2, and this is my my wife selection game. This is like it's a fairly I like to pitch it as like kind of a game that really encourages you to be very greedy. And
Wait,
so
where's the prop? Did you bring where's the stick?
I should have brought this scepter. Yeah, it's got this fun little scepter. You can kind of see it in the art there, but they actually sell it. It's like a toy. It's in the box. It's a little pink scepter you get to hold. And the game just kind of, it's a deck builder, and it takes some of those kind of like, that's like a cardboard version of the scepter there, but it's the real one.
This is a tabletop game. Somebody's got it on.
Oh yeah, this is TTS.
Oh
right?
yeah,
That's the mod. Wow, they imported it.
But yeah, it's just fun little deck builder, but really does encourage you to push your luck a lot and go bust. And you're sort of collecting gems, and then when you kind of burn your gems down, you send them out to other people, and the person with the scepter is kind of sending their gems to everybody else, and everybody else is sending their gems to the person with the scepter. There it is, lights up too. So yeah, my wife just took a liking to it, and we got a lot of plays out of it, and I really appreciate that. Obviously the aesthetic is like really welcoming and friendly, but it's a pretty cutthroat game under the hood. So like don't get the wrong impression there about the sort of the colors and stuff. But yeah, solid game. Would definitely play it again, but definitely got a lot of mileage out of it.
Oh yeah.
And that's the Serlin joint, right?
Yeah, David Serlin. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Did I ever rope you into that one, Mike? It's for a
you
while.
Did.
There.
Yeah, we played it a couple times.
Yeah, whenever anyone came over, it's like, all right, this is what we're playing after dinner. We're playing Puzzle Strike, and yeah.
It's when I realized some people are way better at math than me. Like,
It took that
like
long?
it just never was. It just never was so head to head, you know.
Oh,
Like,
sure.
sure, like someone does like mental arithmetic faster than me. I'm just like, yeah, I wasn't really paying attention. Or
Did
like,
you not play
whatever, right?
24? You ever play a 24 game? Do you know that one?
Is 24 not on your list, Brian? Come on.
24. Maybe it should be. But it's like, it's just a little card. It's got 4 numbers, like 2, 4, 7, 1. And the first person to tap it and then say how those numbers combine to 24. It's a thinly disguised educational tool. But that was definitely an eye opener of like, whoa, some people really can do that mental math. Like, how do you turn those 4 numbers into 24 using just addition, subtraction, multiplication, division? Yeah, that was a
I'm
Nice.
pretty good at that game. But anyway, yeah, Puzzle Strike. I found it to be very mathy, and yeah, it's okay.
I think you just said your pick was terrible. Is what I heard.
Well, it wasn't his relationship with me that he was talking about, you
True.
know. So I think,
That's
and
right.
crucially, you didn't pick it, so or at least you
That's
haven't picked it yet. So that's all. You know,
Right.
no,
did not hit my fellowship.
for my number 4, I picked Super Auto Pets, the board game, which is it's a more recent one. I think it's by Pod Hat. It is a board game implementation of a video game, and it is kind of like an auto battler sort of thing. And I think it's one of the ones where I played the video game a bunch. I played the video game with my friends a ton, and we got really into it, you know, making custom packs. Like, the idea is basically you build this little team of creatures, and then they fight your opponent's creatures, but the fighting part is all automated in the board game or in the video game. So the choice really comes in the drafting and the, like, you know, the order you assemble them in. And yeah, played it a ton on the digital one with my friends. You know, they all have very strong opinions about what's good, what isn't good, how the combo should work. So seeing the like board game implementation was very interesting. And yeah, just we really liked it. And it's like a game. It kind of reminds me of some of the games I played with my friends growing up, where we like really wanted to like take it apart, you know, where we're like, oh, I want to play with, you know, this card instead of this card, even though they're in different packs. Or like, I want to play 2 of the same pack, even though the game says you're supposed to have 1 of each and stuff like that. And it's just like, I love doing that kind of like co-creation with friends. And I think like when you find a game that really, you know, inspires that, it's super exciting. Like, my friend made like a little custom card maker for it, so now we can all make our own cards, and the system's really well designed, so it's super fun to kind of play with.
That's awesome.
Is that a little bit like tag team? I haven't actually played this, like the auto battler part.
Yeah, I think there's some similarity there, but it's definitely more about setting up like a combo. Like, in tag team, you have like 1 health, and you have kind of like each character has a health bar, and then each character's like performing moves. Whereas in this case, each of your characters has health and like a very simple move, but then there's like cascading effects that kind of build your engine. Like, a very common thing is like you send out a super weak pet, but then when it dies, it puts something into your deck, which then when it comes, it does something. And it's more of an engine builder-y thing, whereas tag team is more of like an RPS-y thing, in my experience.
Yeah, for me, tag team is definitely like a programmed, you know, you're programming your actions. Tag team's fantastic. Absolutely love it.
Yeah.
It is. Did you get to like pull the sword from the stone at Gen Con that they had there?
We were at that event, and when we were in line to do it, the sword broke.
No.
So we missed the opportunity to go and do it. But we did have a great time at their event. You know, for what it's worth.
Was there any
So
rain coming through, or was that a dry one?
That was
was a dry
before
event.
the rain. Yeah, a dry event, but not in the Kentucky sense, because there was definitely alcohol being served there.
I see.
Had a few beers there.
Yeah, Brian, that's on our list of games to play. I have this huge backlog of games I want to play with Brian, but he's too busy, and tag team definitely near the top there. Yeah.
Well, you better get
Did you manage to
unbusy.
pick up the new one, or
Yeah, I did not get the new one. I think I'm going to try and get it at PAX. There was
There you
limited space at Gen Con. You know, we sold a lot of
they were
games.
very
but,
limited. Yeah.
Oh, here it is. They sold a lot of games again. You know, they're just bragging on selling all their games. Oh, that's great. I gotta give you guys a hard time. Anyways, my number 5 is the last
Nope.
one that is like a
Number
what?
4.
Number 4. That's what I meant. My number 4 is the last one that's like a broad spectrum. But it is definitely important. It's kind of along the lines of Magic the Gathering. I have so many friendships because of tabletop role-playing games. Again, friends from high school, whether I was running Star Wars with Bryce, we were playing D&D Birthright, playing Cyberpunk and Deadlands with Bob, playing a Nominee, which is an Angels and Demons one, playing Vampire the Masquerade, Mage. I mean, we've played so many different kinds of role-playing games throughout the years, and I am trying to get back into it. Time is obviously a factor, but my oldest child has expressed interest, so we've played a little bit of Daggerheart together, and they've been having a blast. But I'd like to get into, I don't want to say like a real group, but I'd like to get into a group where I can actually play and I'm not wrangling, murder hobbits for, 2-3 hours. But it is really fun. I am so happy to see like them have the experiences I was having, you know what I mean? And see these kids, like their eyes light up with the creativity and just all of the options and everything. And it's just like, yeah, my brain blew up too, when I got to see all of this and see this world and be a part of it and do those things. So the role-playing games, man, again, you find a good group. It's hard to find anything better.
Yeah.
Absolutely love them.
Why did Greg have to move away?
Yeah. I still keep buying source books. It hasn't stopped me. Because I'm like, one day, even if I'm just reading the source material, that's fine too. But
yeah, I'm super looking forward to my kids hitting that age for sure. Like, and I love the new rash of like the new crop, like Daggerheart, Nimbles. One I've been looking at a bunch. There's the Draw Steel. Like it's so cool to see like all the experimentation and yeah, that I
mean,
love.
I talked about it on the show a few weeks ago, but like I've even been doing these like solo journaling RPGs, which are really unique. And like you just take like a deck of cards and a pad of paper and a pen and you write out your story. And the cards basically give you writing prompts and like just some really unique ideas and things that you can do with it. It's pretty badass. So yeah, it's a whole different world, man. It is a whole different world now.
Is it a brave new world?
Well, there's that too. There's a lot of good stuff out there.
Yeah. All right. I guess that is going to take us down to.
I like it. We had all the different threes covered. It was like, how do you do your 3? You got to do the Inglorious Bastards 3.
Yep.
The German 3. Well, kind of like Tim was saying, this is my last kind of tangent kind of one, and there it is a crossover because I too had like D&D and TTRPGs, so many friendships from junior high to high school to Tim and everybody else. Like we met playing role-playing games, and they're fantastic. Like to go from being in the late 80s and the satanic panic, my parents are watching the like Lifetime, Sunday, Monday movies where this kid wants to get to the next level, so he has to kill his parents, and D&D is evil. My parents saying, you're never going to get the, we're never playing this again. And I said, Dad, sit with us, watch us play. Thankfully, he was open-minded enough. He sat down at the table and he's like, this is it? Like, this is it. He's like, you guys are fine. And so ever since then, I had the green light. My parents like, better they're here doing this than out doing God knows what, somewhere else.
You got around to that later, Bob. It was
Yeah. But yeah, just since then, I've just always been playing like D&D, different types of Star Wars, and then now, my niece comes to me asking me, Uncle Bob, do you have any D&D books that I could use? I was like, oh. Does your mother know you're playing?
That's right. Don't tell her.
It's awesome. Yeah, it's fantastic. So, like I said, I'm just glad that she is now getting to, have these, those types of like, events and times and friendships and things like that. And so it's just such a great thing that can bring people together. Josh, who was in our chat earlier, Josh Bowman ran a one shot with me with some, was it like almost like in the Root world, and we were all playing animals and just doing a one shot scenario. Just the possibilities are just literally limitless with what you can do with TTRPGs. So without them, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now and have the friends that I've got. So
100%.
And I got to say, shout out to all the 15-year-old DMs out there. Like the amount of bullshit they have to put up. Like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I was a player, right? And like, I think our DM Sean was running like a Star Wars game, right? And just like the nonsense. It's like, we're going to bluff the loudspeaker. And he's like, it's a one-way loud. I'm rolling this die. And if it's a 20, you got to let me do it. And just,
thanks for putting those hours of prep in just for us to go the other way.
Yeah.
I was a bad DM. I would lock every door except for the one I wanted them to go through. It's like, I tried, nope, roll it. I roll a 20. You can't get through. There must be a magic spell on it. Go the other way.
See, Bob, what I always did was put like 40 stormtroopers behind every door that they weren't supposed to go to. Or if we were playing Call of Cthulhu, it was like, some horrible monster. And it's like, look, you're probably going to go insane if you open that door. I don't care. They open the door and it's like, all right, well, I described their insanity. Usually they would like go nuts and stab everybody else. So then everybody would get really mad at them. And then they would bully them into not doing the stupid thing anymore. So,
the stories are so fantastic.
In true DM fashion, though, it's manipulating the other players to do what you need to,
Yeah.
Stop giving Brian ideas. He's the DM of our campaign right now.
Oh, shoot.
And my character keeps eating random stuff off the ground and is probably going to go insane from that,
That sounds great.
Hey, you never know what mushrooms are good for you until you try them.
That's right.
You
are just doing the Lord's work over there. It's the only way to be sure.
That's how science is done,
It is.
That's right.
It's right. Trial and error. A lot of error, but
that's right. I'm gonna lick a lot of rocks, and one of them's going to taste slightly different, and that's the clue I've been waiting for.
That's right.
So I've got Hoopla, which I think is actually I looked it up. It's actually called Cranium Hoopla, technically.
Cranium.
This is going back to the childhood ones, and so it is a party game. It's a party game, and I don't know how or why, but that's one that like I think my dad hit on that he just like loved, and the whole family was kind of into, and like kind of after we had moved past the game right phase and stuff, and like I think you roll a little die, and you might end up doing a little maybe analogy, or you might act something out, just kind of classic party game stuff. Your card would have something on it. You got to get people to guess. It might be a place or whatever. I think that the tweener was the one I remember the most. You could say it's like bigger than X, smaller than Y. So you get a lot of like, bigger than kryptonite, but smaller than Krypton. Wink, wink. But yeah, this is a fun little game. And I think, very, very travel friendly because we'd always take on vacations and such. And at some point they came out with more cards because we definitely got to the point we just kind of knew them. Like just off of the reputation, like you would give a clue that was really the clue from last time, and people would just get it right away.
Yep.
Yeah, and all the references now are super like dated, like the trivia aspect of it,
Oh, sure.
It's all burned in my brain.
It's educational for us, really,
Well, look at that, Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, Kiss, like
Yeah.
These games are important. I know people like hardcore, like gatekeepery, gamers, they like to crap on these kind of games. They have no idea how important these games are, because if it
Paved the
gets
way.
people to sit at a table to play, that's a success.
Exactly. And I really like this one because it has a little bit of something for everyone. I guess kind of call back to my like kelp thing, right? Where there was, I think that there's the betweener that Brian said. There was like a trivia one. I think there was like a acting out, like a charades one you could do. And so like you really, you got to do a little bit of everything, which I think helps sometimes when having a hard time deciding, or like people just don't know. It's like, oh, well, then find the thing that calls to you.
Right. That's important.
Let's see here. My number 3 is it's got to be Spirit Island, the one, the only,
Who? He's so happy.
A true game for the whole day, and it's super heavyweight, and I have a group of friends that we only get to play games in person occasionally, but when we do, we always bust it out. And just the setup, that's like the first hour, and I think on the
Just
relationship
spirit, like going through every single one.
Well, no, see, this is what I was gonna say, is that like relationship wise, I think I played this with a few different groups now, and it's just like it's such a different dynamic depending on who you're playing with. Like I have one friend who just loves I think I forget what it is. It's the stupid hummingbird one that can't attack anybody, but it's really good at like connecting different spaces to each other and
making things adjacent.
Making things adjacent that like aren't normally adjacent, but it's not allowed to hurt anything. And so he's just sitting there being like, oh, what if these two things were adjacent? And I was like, oh, what if you could push some invaders into the ocean? Wouldn't that be nice? Like, couldn't you like set their homes on fire? He's like, no. Total pacifist. And then, you play with some people who are like sadistically burning everything, including the poor little natives. And you're like, holy moly. You're a different person when you get to the table.
I love the branch and claw. That's like one of my favorite expansion. And so it's one that hides in the leaves or whatever, that puts the peace tokens out. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the dogs. Really yeah, just unleashing all those little puppy paws on people. Super fun. I think I would say like some really it's a co-op game that feels feels immune to the captain problem. Like no one person can pilot more than one spirit.
There's a lot going on, but the thing is, that I like to watch out for though is sometimes people try to play with perfect information. Like, well, if I push this over here, this over there, and it's like I like using those little tokens that he's like, all right, I'm just going to handle this. Don't worry about this, and then do limited communication. Let people just play their own turns, and if shit happens. But like there's just some really good stuff. I have like the big wooden box. I got all the shit for it.
Yeah, with the little laser cut things. It's a whole puzzle to put back together. It's really awesome.
Bob is a lifer for this game, and you just made him so happy.
Yeah,
to have this on your list.
I played it when it first came out. I've gotten every expansion that they've put out. Like I love it.
A new relationship right here.
That's right. Yeah,
that's right.
What do you think about the little like avatar things they added in the newest one, the one that was in Target?
Oh, like the Horizons or whatever? It's a whole new.
Yeah, I forget what it's called, but like you have like instead of just presents, you have like the whole little mini on the board.
I don't think I've played that. I own it. Like I said, it's probably still wrapped in shrink. But I do have it. And for some reason, my computer keeps closing down my shared window.
I'm really looking forward to bringing that to more people, just because like it's such a heavy game. The version of it that they would put in Target has to be more approachable, so hopefully works out.
There is a digital version of that plays really well.
Oh really?
It doesn't have quite everything in it, but it does play.
I'm so scared to like play the digital version and realize I've been playing like incorrectly.
I love this game.
I've been there. Not with that game, but I've definitely been there. Like, why won't let me do this? And it's like, oh, I can't.
I'm so good at this game. Oh wait, I've been cheating.
I've been cheating this whole time. That's what TTS is better, because it's not rules enforced.
That's right. Yeah.
I do what I want.
That's right. including flipping the table when I don't win.
All right. Now on to the real published actual games on my list. This one we haven't talked about. I haven't talked about in a while. This one gets a lot of love. This one's very important to me because of the relationships that it helped me form. And I've got to go with Mission Control. So, Mission Control is this really awesome, like real-time, stressful puzzler, which on paper might give some people nightmares, like a real-time, game. But the strategy is fun. The what you're trying to accomplish, like one person is basically playing as like a cosmonaut. You're stuck in space, and everybody else are the different mission control. Like NASA. You've got the different countries, and you're rolling, and then you're taking results, and you are trying to essentially help this person. Apollo 13 is way out of the mess he's in, and this game is super fun. It was a definitive convention experience for us early on as a show, right? Like going around as a channel. And but this game is so important to me because it helped me form some friendships that I will just I will fight tooth and nail to maintain, and will never give up and really just cherish. We became close with Mike Giuliano because of this game, Corey and Donnie that designed this game. Just so many people, so many things have like cascaded from this sort of chance encounter of playing this game and then just being hyped for it and going back and wanting to talk to people about it. And it's just like a little game. It got a decent run. I think it's like well enough reviewed. It's a little niche, with kind of like what it does. So I think that I don't want to say it hinders it, but it definitely, shapes who that game is for, right? But I mean, hell, this game was definitely for me, and we've had a really good time playing it a ton. And it's a super fun, very fast, very intense game, and it is just I've made so many friends because of it.
When they launched this, they had a big, huge like banner circle thing that looked like you were almost inside of.
It was like a mini booth. Yeah.
Yeah. And
big
then
easels.
Yeah, they had big easels because it's normally just a little like rolling right. Each person's doing like there's 4 little mini games that you're playing here. And then these 3 people are trying to help this person that's over here, like get these little pieces of pipe and connect their air canisters and whatnot and help them to, breathe and escape. And when they launched it, they had these huge easels. And so each of these games was on like this big, huge board. And they had a guy dressed up in like a spacesuit, help call out numbers and get everything going. And like, it was a blast. Like it was such a good time.
Yeah.
And a great experience. And like Tim was saying, it really did help, solidify some budding friendships and launch us off on this show.
Yeah. I mean, it's more than just like, you can be selfish and be like, we made so many industry connections and that was great for the show. And that's true. But like for us, industry connections are not just that. Industry connections for us translate into these long-term ongoing friendships. Because anybody that's foolish enough to like talk to us for a little while and hang out with us, we then like latch on like lampreys or, barnacles, and you just can't get rid of us. So yeah, this was just another one of those, man. And it's awesome.
I love that. Kudos also. I feel like any real-time game where you're like making friends, that your relationship, I feel like real-time games generally damage my relationships.
Fair.
So I think like forming them, like those are forged in the fire, those right. Bonds are not being broken, like I still have like memories. I used to play a lot of like MOBAs of like being in the headset and everyone's yelling and everyone's just pissed off at each other. Or even what did we play? We played Space Alert.
Basically, yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was so stressful. People were freaking out. They were like, "This, we are running out of oxygen. Do something."
Yeah, it is
So-
so sink or swim in those situations.
It is, yeah. You find out a lot about people.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you
Find out
do.
about yourself as well, you know.
Some hard truths come out.
Why pay for therapy? You know, you could just.
That's right. We got board games, man. We don't need therapy. I saw what you did in Spirit Island. Maybe you do need therapy. Like, stretch
That's right,
that.
yeah.
Go see a therapist.
It's
I
a
saw
whole
what you
journey,
did.
you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess that's going to take us down to number 2. All right. So for my number 2, and I don't know why my computer has just not been happy with me trying to share my screen.
It's because you got your OnlyFans stuff up and YouTube doesn't
I'm
like
not
that.
shutting it down, dude. It's it keeps the lights on.
You got to multicast, you know, to every platform.
That's right.
It's right. Yeah, I'm streaming to multiple platforms. But Defenders of the Realm.
Oh, great game.
This game has helped me to, like forge friendships, to solidify friendships. This is one of the big first games that Tim's sister and brother-in-law, Pat and Julia, that they got me hooked on this game, play the crap out of it. And it's one of the first games that I brought to my nieces to play and to teach them, because I knew it was something that we'd be able to work together on. It was, had the fantasy, things that they were, excited about and interested in. And it's just a great, introductory type of game. To me, like, it's a total pandemic killer, right? Like, especially, post-COVID, you don't want to play Pandemic. It kind of hits a little close to home. But it has those, similar mechanisms where, like, you've got these different things that are attacking. You have these, like, minions that are spawning all over the board, and you're just moving around, trying to keep the minions in check, build yourselves up to try to go fight the leaders, the generals. And I've got such a huge stack of characters. There's so many of them, and it's just a great time. Like, I love this game. I've had so many, friendships and everything built that, just playing this. And I got the dragon expansion and accidentally played all dragons, the Oops All Dragons edition. Got our butts, handed to us, but we still had fun, so.
Yeah. Well, you got a story out of it, though.
It's true. It's funny because, like, afterwards I read the book and it's like, we don't recommend using all 4 dragons at the same time. We're like, oops. No wonder we lost so bad.
That was pride, man. That was hubris.
This game's easy. We got this. Yeah.
Because, like, here's, like, the fun thing about Bob and I and our dynamic is you almost can't put Bob and I on a team a lot of times because we can be just ice cold killers.
Mm-hmm.
And we love really challenging co-ops because, like, for whatever reason, Bob and I can get on a wavelength and we can go. And the other side of that coin, though, is that Bob is my favorite person to beat at a board game because it pisses him off so bad. He's like my greatest teammate and my worst enemy, right? At the same time, we're like Reed Richards and Dr. Doom. I'll let you decide who's who. And but yeah, man, I remember Bob and I playing like anytime we play Defenders of the Realm, like it is like I like to play games kind of casually, and like hang out. But if Bob and I are going head to head or we're playing a co-op like this, it's like over the table, look like full, like engaged, like we're going. And man, Defenders of the Realm is a great pick there, Hoop. That's a solid.
Yeah, games that make you lock in. I think that would be a great top 5 rundown in the future. I totally get that feeling where it's like some games I'm like just here to have fun. And there's some games.
Yeah. Oh, we're playing. What is it? The potions one where you're pulling things out. Oh, okay. Hey, that was cool.
Quacks.
And then there's other games you're like.
That's right. Yeah.
Sounds like we got our next list for next time you guys come on. Games that make you lock in.
Let's go.
what I got here. I have oh, this one's for Michael. You really teed me up for this one when you said games you never play again. Risk. So I picked Risk Legacy.
There we
Number
go.
2.
You never have to play it again because you played it all the way through the one time, and it's
We
done.
did. That is right.
I guess I didn't get the memo that we're supposed to revisit this one. So like one birthday, I get Mike. This is back when like we lived near each other. We had a bunch of friends near each other who played games. We went to a bunch of games. Like we did like the Dark Souls board game. We did Mage Knight a bit, like heavier stuff, right? Because it was pre-kids. And then like for Michael's birthday, I get him Risk Legacy. I'm like, we got to play this now. We're gonna play this together. And like 15 games. The salt mine was a territory because of all the tears that were shed over that one
nice
location.
Brian Sucks was a city.
Oh, Brian Sucks was it? Yeah.
Not made by me.
Yeah. And
that's so good.
At the end, the winner gets to sign the game, gets to name the world. I went on a run, won the last 4 games straight. Just to
it was painful, man. It was...
and just what an experience. We did just really, I think it's actually a really fun game. Like, if you played legacy games and stuff, this was the first one. This was the thing that created the legacy genre. And they did a lot of the stuff that no one even really, I feel like they had it all in there. They had the advent calendars, they had the stickers, they had the rule changes. I don't even want to like give spoilers because they really pulled out all the stops. And I feel like they set the bar really high.
Yeah.
It's a fun game.
I would play Risk Legacy again. I should caveat the notice.
Wait, you know who has a birthday coming up? 4 days. We got
That's me. Yeah. Is there another printing? Surely I've forgotten everything. I do feel like
Remember I shouldn't even say this. I don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah, no spoilers. But
never mind.
What a game. It's very cool.
Risk Legacy is not Risk. It's you're totally safe. It is not Risk. You say you're playing Risk Legacy, you're playing a different game.
It's a lot more. It's true. Yeah, there's drafting, there's asymmetry. It's got everything. But yeah, it was by the end, it was hard to get everyone together for that 15th game. People were really starting to.
Well, the hard part, right, is like with something like that, you're like, are you starting to check out because you feel like I don't have a chance? Maybe just Brian is like super mean every time he wins a game, and so it's like really hard to sit across from him at the table.
The crazy part is that the other 3 players, like we were all conspiring. We were like, we just can't let Brian win 4 games in a row, And despite conspiring, somehow we should have conspired more, but we hedged too much. But we did it like 4 games in a row anyway. Yeah,
we know who the Dr. Doom is in this relationship.
That's right.
Fantastic Four or nothing to.
Love it.
My number 2 has to be Coup. Which is a much lighter game. It's a great kind of like social deduction, bluffing kind of game that came out in like 2013, 2014, something like that. But for me, it was like it just defined an entire like summer of my life because one of my friends backed it. And like we didn't even have the game, but they like published what it was because the game is very simple. So we played it with like a deck of cards or like a subset of the deck, mapping to the Duke and the Captain. It was just me and like 5 or 6 friends, and we were all in like a shitty apartment during our summer internship, and we I don't know, we just played this game over and over and over again, and it just developed this crazy meta that we still now reference whenever we're playing a game. Like in this game, if you're the Duke, you can like collect income, and if you're I think like a captain, you can like steal the income, but you can impersonate other identities, and just anytime anyone would be a Duke trying to collect like tons of money, everyone who is a captain would like form a secret alliance, like a shared alliance, and just farm the Duke for their money, like only steal from the rich until they just tapped out. And I just all kinds of like weird meta things and in jokes for my group. But it is the kind of game where like just lots of lying and betrayal, and in the right group it's a ton of fun. For other people, they're kind of like, okay,
Oh, sure. So it's funny because we talk a lot about a game called Fall of Kingdoms, and this will sound incredibly rude, but I will just say it. We call it Coup but fun. I think really like the important part of that equation though is that I can't remember what exactly my problems were with Coup when I was playing Coup, but I don't have any of those issues when I play Fall of Kingdom. So it's hard to like put my exact finger on it because there's the different roles and there's the bluffing of
Well,
what
it's like
you
resistance, right? With Coup and
are.
resistance,
Resistance
were very,
is worse. Resistance
yeah.
was the one I really hated. Coup just
We wanted more.
lambasted for being a cousin of Coup.
Unlucky.
But yeah.
But no, this is exciting for me because I've never heard of this game, The Fall of Kingdoms. And I'm always trying to recapture that magic, you know? It's like you can't go back to
Oh, sure.
to that, but you know, you can relive it. And I think
you're chasing that thrill, man. Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
Oh, there it is.
Ooh, creepy. I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, it's really fun because you've got all these different roles and you are bluffing, you know, you're going to take an action based on the role you claim to have. And anybody can call, you know, BS on you. And you basically have 3 lives. You got, you know,
Right.
so, and then you actually have like a health to your kingdom so people can attack you. And you've got to get rid of everybody else.
I'm going to use my puppeteer to use Tim's general ability to attack you. And like, they can call your bullshit or they can,
it's so much fun. It's so much fun. I love it. And I love playing differently. Like every time, like, it's like, you know, sometimes it's like, I just tell myself like, I'm not going to lie this game. Like, I'm going to say what I am and just,
well, you tell yourself that.
I do. But did I lie to myself?
Yes.
Probably.
Denial, Tim, not just a river in Egypt.
But it's so much fun when Bob's like, you're not the whatever, you're not the general. And I'm like, am I? And then you flip it over and he's like, God damn it. You know, so it's good stuff.
It's so good. Yeah, I love like getting to learn people by like what they're willing and not willing to lie about, you know?
Yeah.
And like, just, I don't know, just people do the craziest things. Like I had a friend who would never look at his cards, you know? He's just like, I don't know.
Like
you can't possibly know, you know?
You don't even know if I'm lying or not because I don't know. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I don't even know if
That's
I'm
our
lying.
buddy West.
That's West.
West is I think I'm a chaos goblin. West is like a true devious agent of chaos.
There's always another level of chaos you can descend to, right?
That's
like,
right. That's
you think
right.
you're going crazy, but yeah.
Just when you think you're the weirdest, craziest person, West shows up and outdoes you.
All right.
Shoot. It's my number 2. It's funny we were talking about like you can only take so much betrayal and so much this and that. And apparently I have not met that threshold because my number 2 is the Game of Thrones board game.
I'm already typing as soon as you
Bro, like I have won and lost this game so many times, either by backstabbing or being backstabbed. And it's not a matter of if you're going to get backstabbed, it's when. And just can you time it and pull the trigger one turn before they get you? Because I can't tell you how many times Bob has backstabbed me to win the game, and it's literally one turn
before he was about to backstab
before I'm going to do it to him. I just needed another turn to get my stuff to line up. You know, and then what's hilarious is that when Bob and I play these games, like especially when we play a game like this and we're playing with other people, we're both like, you gotta watch out for Bob, and Bob's like, you gotta watch out for Tim. You cannot let Tim do this. You let Tim do this, you're gonna regret it. I'm like, shut up, Bob. Like, look at Bob. Look what he's doing. Blah blah blah. You know what I mean? It's like we're constantly like throwing it back and forth at each other, and our alliances at best are uneasy. You know, and I don't know if you guys have played Game of Thrones, but it does this. You assign all your actions face down, and then you reveal, and then you resolve them, you know, sort of in turn order and priority and things like that. Yeah. And so there's that real will they, won't they, you know, right. With it and the bluffing aspect.
Defend here. Don't worry about it. We need to attack over here. Yeah,
that's right.
This chip is totally just a defense chip.
Don't even sweat, Bob. Clearly, they are a bigger problem over here. Why would I be attacking?
Yeah, we can duke it out later, but right now they are clearly the threat.
Yeah. Yeah, it's this game is so good. I love it, and I mean it's an IP I love anyways. But they did such a good job of implementing it.
Yeah, I feel like really captures the vibe of like everyone's gonna betray each other.
Yeah, it really does. And it's an old line from the book. I don't even know if they used it in the show or whatever, but it's like when you play the Game of Thrones, you win or you die. And
Oh, hell yeah.
I think that was in the show.
Yeah, it's like a Cersei Lannister joint.
Yeah. It was a big line in the
she was
first
spitting
book.
with that one. Yeah.
And it's like I remember that being like the thing on the back of the book when you're reading the back of the book and you're like, like you get this paragraph about what's going on, and then at the bottom it's like, and then in all bold text, it's like when you play the Game of Thrones, you win or you die. And I'm like, this book's gonna be amazing. And I was right, but I was only read it because my buddy told me I needed to read it, and he was right.
Michael's one of those true believers. He's still holding out for the next book.
True.
True.
I
on the forums,
I stopped going to the forums, but I am just holding in that secret place in my heart, just that I've got a candle lit, just waiting.
That's right.
One day George is gonna either die and his family will publish it, you know what I mean, anyways, or he will just, enough time has passed from the disaster that was the last couple seasons of that show, and then he will just publish
the show. What a disappointment. But for me, like, even if he doesn't publish it, just personally, I feel like he's planted so many seeds. There's so many interesting, like, to this day, people are cooking up new and like interesting theories on like, all of the stuff he's been playing with. Like I just read like for Septa Lemore, who's like sailing with Aegon, which got totally cut from the show, by the way, which was a travesty. But like I read a new theory about who she might be behind the scenes, and it's just like, and it's very, I think, very persuasive, and it's just so exciting. Yeah. So shout out to everyone writing in the forums. Don't stop what you're doing. Read my theories.
There we go. Yeah, I'll just subscribe to your Reddit thread and read your theories. No, I just, God, I just love that lore, and that world is so good. The House of the Dragon show isn't bad. Dunk and Egg was amazing.
I've only read the novellas, but I heard the show was really good. I've been meaning to watch it. Yeah,
it's true to form, man, where it's like very sweet and also just so heartbreaking and tragic, and it's everything I want from a Game of Thrones story, right? Like, you have to know that a Game of Thrones story is always going to be tragic, in some way.
Your heart. Yeah,
and I'm here for it though, because it's so good.
I did see the one clip from Dunk and Egg where I guess it's like Dunk's like whatever mentor or whatever saying like a true knight always finishes his stories. And I was like, it's a great self-insert. Yeah.
Like, come on, George. Physician, heal thyself. Like, come on, bro. Right. You got this. I know you can do it.
All right. Ready?
We are ready.
Whoa.
I clicked it. Alrighty. My number one is extremely near and dear to my heart for many, many reasons. Not only is it an IP that I love, but it's trying to get emotional here. It's definitely like brought me closer to friends, gotten me through hard times. And I mean, I would never tell him to his face, but hang on, stupid screen share.
Do I know what it is? I might know what it is. I bet I know what it is. I knew what it was.
Star Wars Rebellion is fantastic. There's been many nights when Tim and I have stayed up late playing this game. One night at like a small convention at his sister's house, we stayed up to I don't know what time it was.
Way too late.
Exploring every single planet, looking for the Rebel Alliance. During COVID, tough times, we set up cameras and figured out how to play this, virtually. When Mike was just starting to kind of hang out with us and whatnot. I was trying to get him over to play a game. He's like, I don't know, it'd have to be something epic. And I was like, how about Star Wars Rebellion? He's like, I'll be right over there. And he drove the 25 minutes from his house to come over and play Star Wars Rebellion with me. Like, it's fantastic. Like, I love Star Wars. This is probably envelops that, story so much for me. You can do what you want. You can send Luke to train to become a Jedi. You can freeze people in carbonite. You can try to turn people to the dark side. It's fantastic. I really feel
so
like
damn
I'm doing
good.
what I want with the movies. Yeah, it's so good. It's
so damn good.
Yeah, and like
So
I said,
damn good.
it's fantastic, and I feel like our friendship is stronger because of it. So.
I mean, it ain't weaker, that's for sure.
Yeah, any game you can like stay up late playing, I think that's like, got a special memory in my heart for sure. And like that's when you're like everyone's, I don't know, just on the same wavelength, right? You're like, no one wants to go to bed because you got to figure out how the game ends. I love that. Yeah.
Right. And whether he wants to admit it or not, Bobby's one of my just all-time best friends, and we have so many memories. We have so many memories tied to so many games, but yet the Star Wars Rebellion one like always comes up and it always stands out. I mean, that 20 plus years of friendship and one game like keeps coming up all the time. It's kind of like Game of Thrones, right, Bob? Like, what I mean? Like, we keep having these common denominators, so like there's something there, right? And Star Wars Rebellion is 1,000,000% one of those just epic beasts. And like he said, it's an IP that we're both passionate about, and love and know the lore. So all those extra things you can do are even more interesting and important and meaningful.
Build a Death Star and blow up a whole system.
Yeah. Kind of like Spirit Island tells you who you're hanging out with.
True, yeah. Right.
We'll let you guess who the Empire is, and
that's right. That's right.
I love that.
That's proud. So my number one. So last time I was on, I was informed that I could pick Legends of the Arena. So that's what we're doing this time.
Hell yeah, go for it. It's important.
Yeah, this is Michael and I, 9 years in the making. Every week at least once, getting to hang out, getting to chat, catch up on life, little game stuff. Sometimes a lot of game stuff. I don't know, but yeah, that's just been. And we just packed a lot of the stuff we like in there. I think, a lot of the games that we played together or kind of formed us growing up. And so that was like, it was kind of nice to do our own homage to that, like playing games together on the couch, split screen, shared screen, just like, the kind of transition from video games to board games and back again many times, and competitive to cooperative, and just, kind of getting to finally live out the dream of making our own version, because I think even growing up, we made games and worked on games, but doing it like for real was a whole nother thing. It's
it's hard not to get emotional talking about it, but yeah, like almost like a decade of doing it. I'm so glad you put it on there because. And also, we should upload more pictures to our BGG page.
Right?
That's what I'm realizing.
You're welcome. That's the whole purpose of the whole show. Is just like, hey guys, you should put more pictures on. It's a really long trip to get there, but we got there.
That's right. Yeah. No, I appreciate it. But yeah, I think it's really something special. I think wouldn't imagine doing it. I can't imagine a better use of my time. I mean, maybe like I could if you pushed me, but honestly, it's just been truly an amazing experience, and it is crazy to for me at least. Like, it's a game that I will probably play the rest of my life. Like, obviously not as much as we did when we were like developing it, because we were just grinding out games night after night, but I think it's something that like I always am going to want to go back to, and like certainly has defined Brian and I's relationship.
Like, we lived right next to each other, right? And we just didn't hang out that much, And then like we started working on the game, and then that just changed everything. And that was like, that was so awesome because it was like kind of needed a reason. We needed a reason, right? And like that was it. And yeah,
true. And it could have been anything, because there were a couple years there that all we were really doing was like a lot of market research. A lot of
Oh, sure.
a lot of playing games and being like, good work today.
Right. Wink. Yeah, like, hey, we're working hard today.
Yeah.
Guess we got to play games.
True.
No, but I mean, don't sell that experience short. I mean, that's super important. I think that your work and your hard effort is shown and has been, demonstrated by the success you've seen, at the conventions and stuff. I mean, just to take it on the very surface level,
No, yeah,
it's
been
so hard to self-publish.
Yeah.
And as a senior marketing officer, I had to use the time.
Yeah,
there it is. There it is. Yeah.
Let's go.
The callback.
Well done.
No, yeah, the reception's been amazing. We do really appreciate everyone who gives the game a try. It is hopefully really good in your mind as well as mine. But yeah, I think that was going to be my number one as well. But since Brian picked it, I will pivot to my backup plan, which is Battle Cry.
Oh,
and so Battle Cry is this like Civil War. Brian, what's the game
called? Command Colors. It's a war game. It's like the Memoir 44.
Yes,
like before Memoir 44, I think. And we made a whole bunch of them.
It was like the first game for me that I like played and like wanted to modify and like really got me into like thinking about games in that way. I think I was in like middle school and I had a history teacher who was really into Civil War reenactments because we grew up in like Pennsylvania. And so, every year he was at Gettysburg, doing his thing. And so he bought this game and we would play it like after school. And it was like, I feel like the first board game I really got into. And then started like trying to make my own maps. I think Brian found some at our parents' place recently.
Yes.
So,
on graph paper, like drawing out. Yes.
Yeah. I was drawing little hexes on graph paper. A
weird way to do it.
Yeah. But super cool game. Like very.
Yeah, Michael. Wait, it's you.
Yeah, right. Just is that you there waiting? Waiting to play, ready to go.
Oh man, but yeah, it like I do want to play it, see how it holds up. But yeah, you do have the kind of like war game thing where you got your terrain and your troops, but obviously the positions are largely fixed up front, and you generally have like a attack or defender sort of setup depending on what part in the war you're reenacting and that kind of stuff. So yeah, and then there's some cards you can use as well as dice rolling for the actual damage, but I think it's like it's not super heavy. It's pretty lightweight as far as games go, and yeah, I just it's crazy. Yeah,
some of the kids you played this with, right? You like went on to play like a lot more stuff throughout high school, right? Like I feel like Chris and stuff you met through.
Exactly. Yeah. That was like the start of playing board games with my friends. Was like playing Battle Cry, and then we moved into Epic Duels. Man, it's crazy seeing those images. But yeah, for me, it's a real like. For me, board games like starts here, so it's pretty.
Craziest thing about this image is this dude's wearing a dolphin shirt.
Awesome.
True.
That is true. I can't believe that there's other Dolphins fans.
Yeah.
Anybody?
They're everywhere,
Crazy enough to be a Dolphins fan.
Yep.
Really makes you. They should question their life choices.
Did you think they would? Stopped doing that a long time ago.
That's fair. That's probably better. All right. And my number one is definitely the dumbest game on my list. But I am, we're talking about all these experiences and the relationships that have been formed. And I, like Bob and I will sit and play. Bob, I don't know if you saw that Song for War update, right? Bob and I will sit and play like a 4 or 5 hour, even longer, war game, strategy game, head to head. Like we're digging in and we're having a great time. And we're like, really, the time flies, because we're just so into it. And but then I want to drink whiskey and play tumbling dice at the end of the night, and um, I have started this insane tradition that I accidentally stumbled into, and it has become like this convention tradition. And I made the best of having a misprinted board, which the guys were loved giving me a hard time about. And then like anytime, people try to, bust my balls over something like that, if I could find a way to lean into it and embrace it, even better. And so now when we play tumbling dice, if you win, you sign the board, and there's just like all these things, and we made up new rules, and we're playing teams, and we're writing on the top of the board, and we're naming areas of the board after people because they keep hitting that area of the board. It's all, those kind of things, and it just it's always like I'm very much like, yes, you should play the games as they are intended, but at the same time, it's kind of like we were talking about, if you're playing a game, like I don't want to find out if I was playing that game wrong. It's like, who gives a shit? If you were playing that game and having a great time, you were playing it right.
That's right.
Like you were doing it the right way.
Every game's a legacy game, it's just the memories you're making.
That's right. And but man, I've had so much fun playing this game with our crew from Atlanta. Hope they're there's Brandon. Yeah, right there. He doesn't know what tumbling dice is, but he does know what Timblin dice is. I don't know if you guys saw, but the Atlanta guys put my face on the ones. They made their own die, own 6-sided die with my face on them specifically for the tumbling dice. And so then we renamed it. I crossed out the U on tumbling dice and we changed it to Timblin dice.
I love that. That's perfect.
And it's just like the dumbest, goofiest thing, but man, like we were Gen Con, right? We're in Lucas Oil, we're playing it. There's a couple of guys standing off to the side, and we're like, you want to play? And they're like, no, we just want to watch. And I go, you're going to want to play. Like, you can watch, but you're going to want to play. Damn straight, they were playing by the end of the convention. You know what I mean? Like, they were definitely playing. And, yeah, Timblin Dice is the ultimate legacy game. And, like, I've gotten now to where I'm starting to get, I've got to come up with a plan for when my board fills up. What am I doing with the old board? Obviously, I'm going to buy a new board and we're going to keep it going. But it's just become that important to me, like that's a thing. And that's what we're doing. And I just love that everybody humors me and plays my stupid game with me all the time. And it's just the best. It's the absolute best. And I love playing with new people every year, getting people to come in. Like strangers walk up, watch and see what we're doing. Cause when we play, we're rowdy, and they want to know. And I'm like, you want in on the next round? If you're standing here, and you want to play, like, just speak up. And, yeah, I've had complete strangers, come up and start playing with us and, get into it. And they adopt all the new goofy rules that I've yet to have somebody go, is that like really what happened?
In their defense, they don't know those aren't the real rules.
Doesn't matter.
And we wrote it on the back of the box, so they are technically part of the rules.
Yeah, because there's no rule book. The rules are so simple. They're just printed on the back of the box. Yeah. So if you take a Sharpie and you write in the rules, those are the rules.
That's right.
But it's just been one of the best experiences that I have had in the hobby, getting to do that and play that with people and with my friends, and watching people that are like, skeptical and then get into it. It's like, another convert, like, I carried that sucker all around Gen Con with me like 2 days in a row, just because I knew we were going to play it that night. And I didn't complain once because I was so pumped to be able to get it to the table every night, to play it. I was like, I don't care. Do not care.
It's like 15 pounds of board game. So what?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Cons are such a special place. I feel like that story really captures like the magic of cons, like random people joining your game, rewriting the rules, working around the mismatched pieces, because you've got that time constraint, but you also have this just density of board games, density of people, and just like all this energy and excitement. Like, I don't know how, I feel like every con I'm at, I'm up super late, and then I go home and I'm like, ooh, 10 p.m. I'm staying up late, like I'm ready for bed,
Right.
But then you're at the
Who's this
con
animal that was at the convention, because I don't know who that person was.
Right.
Yeah.
And
that person was trying to catch up on sleep for the next week. That's who that was.
That's right.
Facts.
Absolutely.
Facts. But yeah, man. It may not have been a surprise to anybody, but there was no way that this couldn't be my number one, for all of those reasons. And but
So I've got
oh yeah, go on.
I was just I've got an idea for your old board though, and I had to share it. You get like a coffee table with like a ring around it, and you need to put your board in, set up the dice just the way you want, and then epoxy it. So you get like a turn it into like a perfect frozen moment there.
It's forever. That's right. And then we can centuries from now we can drill into it and pull the DNA out of it and reconstruct it.
Oh, good Lord.
Well, we were so excited that we
doesn't mean we should.
That's right. We never thought if we should do it.
Right.
Yeah. It's funny, Tim, and you said this and it reminded me of the Game of Thrones callback. Where like, anytime someone tries to make fun of you of something, you try to lean into it and make it better, bastard.
That's right. That's right. You own it. Oh, man. I do call a lot of people bastards when we play that game. That is for sure.
That was pretty funny.
Lore accurate,
Yeah, right. That was what Tyrion was telling Jon in book 1,
Yeah,
that's right.
If you use it like armor, they can never hurt you with it. Yep.
Dang, that's verbatim, dude. We got
Yeah. Listen, I made sure Bob knew his Game of Thrones. He absorbed it. He absorbed it.
I tried reading it.
Raised him right,
Yeah, that's right. That's right. He might be older than me, but
hey, hey, let's calm down.
Calm down, Graybeard. You got this.
Yeah.
You'll be all right. Man. Well, guys, really, thank you so much for coming on, hanging out with us.
Before we wrap up, though, do we want to do a quick recap?
Oh yeah, we should recap. We should
do a quick recap. People like it when we do the recap. So I'll rip through my 5 through 1. You guys rip through your 5 for 1. And do we want to throw in any quick honorables? And we don't want to run too late, but
we could throw in an honorable mention or two if you got any that you want to hit. Yeah.
All right. So real quick, my number 5 was Dominoes. My number 4 was Pinochle with my parents. My number 3 was D&D and TT RPGs in general. My number 2 was Defenders of the Realm. And my number 1 with a lightsaber was Star Wars Rebellion.
Yeah.
And yeah, I had a couple of quick honorable mentions. Like Final Fantasy 11, I made so many awesome friendships through that game. Like even to a point to where I was randomly stuck in Florida with like my parents and it was raining, so we weren't going anywhere. I had no car. I put out a message on our boards that we chat on, and some random person I never met came and picked me up when we went to go hang out. My mom was freaking out that I was going to get like myrtleized. I'm like, them playing this game with me for like 7 years just to hope I'm stranded in Florida one random day is kind of a long con. So they deserve it.
So they deserve the kill. They've earned that kill.
They have earned really it. It's true.
Goal. Yeah,
I
agree.
But yeah, I'll call it at that though. So go ahead.
Yes, number 5 was Honor the Samurai. Get it now before it sells out everywhere. Puzzle Strike 2 at number 4. Cranium Hoopla at 3. And then Risk Legacy, and finally Legends of the Arena. And the video games doesn't make me want to throw an honorable mention for something called Cyber Nations. And like it is to the point like I will not say what my username was on there because the acrimony, the vitriol. This was
nice.
A nation simulation game, and like to this day it's like. But yeah, definitely met some people I was really close with, and it was an interesting time.
Dang, the Cyber Nations. Shout out. Don't dox them. or whatever the reverse is. My 5 was Kelp. Then I might have changed the order, but I think 4 was Spirit Island, 3 was Super Auto Pets, 2 was Coup, and then 1 was Battle Cry. Obviously, honorable shout out Legends of the Arena, my true number 1 in my heart. But for the for the content, have to leave it as an honorable mention. And then if we're doing video games, I got to shout out Heroes of the Storm, the Blizzard MOBA that got canceled a few years ago, but was a sick game. Made a lot of friends. Definitely. A lot of Legends of the Arena early designs were very MOBA inspired. I definitely really enjoy the lane battling in that game, but I also enjoyed the team communication. But now it's a very different game.
Oh, sure. Yeah. All right. My number 5 was Magic the Gathering. My number 4 was just tabletop RPGs. Number 3, Mission Control, just because there's so many relationships that sprung from that one Gen Con experience. Origins experience, right? First, and then Gen Con? Or no, it was Gen Con, wasn't it? And then it was Origins the next year.
Was it?
I don't remember.
I thought it was, remember Origins, they set it back up like on that little walkway down underneath.
Yeah, I thought that was the next year, but
maybe it was. I don't know. Time is
anyways. The timey-wimey thing. Game of Thrones, my number 2. And then Timblin Dice or Tumblin Dice, if you don't have the legacy version, is definitely my number 1. I mean, Cthulhu Wars could fit on this list. It is the king of asymmetry and my most played games. If we were going to go video games, I mean, I was one of those dudes that just loved playing Call of Duty with a squad. Like we play hardcore mode, search and destroy hardcore. I like playing on teams. I like being a part of a team. I like that communication and when you can execute a plan, which is I think why I love playing games like Defenders of the Realm with Bob, where we're like, all right, we're going to go down here. We're going to try this out. I don't know if it'll work, but it's a big swing, if we pull this off, it's going to be epic. So, because otherwise video game wise, I'm totally fine playing solo stuff. But I've really enjoyed playing Gloomhaven on PlayStation and Path of Exile, which we haven't done in ages, Bob. But
you haven't done in ages.
Fair. Because I started playing Crimson Desert and things like that. But those games don't really cultivate relationships as much as I guess Arc Raiders. I was playing Arc Raiders with a couple of guys from work and a couple of guys actually from even other locations of the job that I work at, right? So guys from the Fort Wayne branch and stuff where we get together and play Arc Raiders together. And but I mean, anytime you can play games and kind of build those things up, it's a good time. It's a really good time. I think that's reason for the season.
Sweet.
All right. Now, guys, first of all, most importantly, congratulations on Legends of the Arena. Now the problem is you're going to have to either follow it up with more expansions, or you're going to have to outdo yourself and publish yet another game that will then be successful. You got anything in the cooker, or what are you working on?
And right now, I think we're still basking in the glow. We're just, we're first time in it. We're just this is great. Let's ride this as long as we can.
Bask away. Yes, enjoy it.
Yeah, and I think the other thing is this is this is the most eyeballs we'll ever have on it, and so it's been really awesome to get some feedback from not just our close friends and other developers that are nearby us.
Now, as lead designer on this project, what's the worst feedback you've got? I'm just kidding.
I think that's a question for me. Finally. There's no bad feedback. I think the worst feedback is the classic the opposite of love is not hate, it's apathy, man. I think when someone just looks at the game and they're like, oh, okay, and then they leave, I'm I feel it should leave you with a stronger emotion than
Yeah, either be really pissed off at you, you're mad at it, you didn't like it, or like, please love it, like something. Give me something. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
love it, hate it. Tell me you think this character's broken. Tell me you think this character's underpowered. Like that's all awesome. That's all like I can work with that. I think.
Right.
And I think we've legitimately brought something new and interesting and different, especially in the kind of subgenre of like these kind of fighting style games. With the multiplayer, with the kind of programming aspect. And so I do hope to see those reactions. I mean, please don't, please not too many negative ones. My ego can only take so much, but
And I think we're still having a lot of fun with it too. Like, working on a board game arena implementation, working towards a tournament, having our little Discord grow. It's every con we go to, a couple more people like jump in there. And so that's really fun. And, just kind of letting it sort of, now it's out in the world and like watching it organically grow. It's really cool.
Yeah, like let it have a life a little bit, right? Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, people sending us their custom character ideas.
Oh, yeah.
It's like that's that I'm basking.
Right. Yeah, that's wild, right? You care enough about the game that I designed that you're creating your own characters. Like that's insane.
Yeah. Sweet ideas. So keep them coming.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, congratulations again on that, guys. And thank you all for coming on. This was super fun.
Yeah, thank you for having us. I love a reason to drink whiskey on Wednesday,
it's terrible. Please feel free to, hit us up. Let's do it again. You don't have to have a project. Like, let's keep you in the zeitgeist, stay in the conversation.
Top 5 locked in, right?
That's right.
Top 5 games that get
just
you
lock it in right now.
Get you locked in. We'll have you back on. We already know what the list is going to be. It's going to be good shit. It's going to be a good time.
Amazing.
Do you guys have anything else you wanted to hit on or cover or talk about before we?
Yeah, if you missed the Kickstarter, it's on our website now. You ship into the US, shop.tothgames.com, and we'll be at PAX West. So if anyone's out there, come say hi. We'd love to see you. And hopefully some other conventions this fall, next year. So we'll be around.
Keep an eye out for the amazing cosplays that will now be based on the characters.
What was the website again?
Shop.tothgames.com.
I will drop that in the chat.
You got it? Oh, there it is. Okay, perfect. All right, guys. Well, thank you, everybody, so much for watching. I have no idea what we're doing next week, but we will be back here next week on Wednesday. Same bat time, same bat channel. Thank you again. You guys were super fun and love it. I love it also when we find like these like nerdy crossover stuff. Like I got a Game of Thrones, psychopath down here right along with me. It's perfect. It's perfect. All right, guys. For the board game rundown, I've been Tim,
Bob,
Brian,
yes,
and Mike.
We did it. We'll see you next week. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
That's me.
See ya.
That's you, Bob. Get up on it. See you in 25.
do you like to party?
I do like to party.
I also like to party.
I like to party.
A 7.3.
This is a great party.
Repeating.
We should party more often.
Heating.
I do like to party.
Okay.
I also like to party. I also like to party.
I like to party. I like to party.
We should party more often.
Okay.
This is a great party.
Okay.